So Arsenal have progressed to the next round of the FA Cup, beating Oxford United 3-0. If you didn't watch the game, it wasn't as routine as the scoreline suggests. Make sure you fire the likes up. Subscribe to Jez's channel. Follow Kenny Ken's Insta. Links in description. Subscribe here. As I record this, it's gone 1 o'clock in the morning. I was streaming 13 hours ago. I'm still going. I am 3 subs away from 75k, so make sure you sub to me as well. And smash the like button up. Anyone who hasn't seen your fan cam, Jez, give us a little breakdown of that monstrosity of a game.
I'm very angry, not only about the poor performance in the first half, but I'm more angry about Arsenal Football Club's attitude in the transfer window currently. I'm still fuming. I think I'll be fuming till next Saturday. The fact that we let a player that could have really seriously helped this football club slip through our fingers and go to Chelsea is an absolutely disgraceful embarrassment. And it just shows the ambition of this club. And my new favourite prick of this club is Edu.
He's probably sucking his daughter's toes as we speak, mate. On that bombshell, Kenny, give us your breakdown, mate.
Look, you know what's happened, right? Is that everything was wrong. I didn't, in terms of our passing, the tempo of our passing was too slow. I think the movement was too slow, and I think we just wanted to suck up the pressure of Oxford United in the confidence that that they didn't really have the quality in the sort of last third to hurt us. And it's a shame, and it's quite embarrassing for a couple of players, Kieran Tierney and Sambi Albert Lukonga, that the fact is that as soon as they went off the field and we brought on Zinchenko and brought on Xhaka, that our tempo went to its required standards and we started opening them up. Sad, that it's highlighted, and I'm going to say this with, hopefully I'm wrong, but it doesn't bode well for people like Kieran Tierney and Albert Lukonga in terms of whether they're going to be in our managers' long-term plans. Because if you're getting subbed off against Oxford United in the third tier, then something's not right there in terms of like your utility to this great sorry, I was going to say this great team. We haven't won anything yet, but to this very good team at the moment, you shouldn't. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be struggling against Oxford, albeit they probably played 3 times better than they've ever played in their respective division. But it's a sad indictment that as soon as they came to the pitch and we started we scored 3 very good goals, and then our quality showed. But it doesn't. Let's just say, if you were looking for an entertaining match, then I suppose any neutral would be better off watching Silent Witness on BBC One rather than that.
Yeah, 100%. You just said something about they probably played 3 times better than they've ever played. I always laugh when teams raise their game for certain games like this, like Oxford. They did play well, to be fair to them. They battled. You knew you were going to get a battle. But when a team raises their game that much, yeah, I just have to look at it and say, well, why aren't you doing that every week? Because that's the standard. Yeah, why don't you think every team you're playing is Arsenal and you'd walk the title? Is what it is. Anyway, you know how this works, people. If you don't agree with the player ratings, we don't care. Leave yours in the comment section. Let's start off with the goalkeeper. Could have had a cigar on the go, really. Didn't have anything to do at all, Jez.
No. Matt Turner, fair play to the guy. He must have been very bored tonight. Fair play to the fella. He wasn't troubled, really, was he? Let's be honest. I give him a 7 because I think he commanded his goal. He commanded his 18-yard box. Some of his kicking out and throw outs were, I thought, very good. So, yeah, Matt Turner, you're getting a 7.
Even Cruyff turned their striker at one point.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Let's go to Kieran Tierney, Kenny. My left back.
Not for long, mate. Not for long. With a performance like that, not for long.
You're on that Ola hype.
Not for long. Not for long. Look, the fact is, we're playing a different way of playing, and I just think that the guys will struggle on performances like this to actually to be in part of our manager's plans. If you don't want a situation of someone that we're going to look at players like Kieran Tierney and think, you know what, how are you going to balance the books? Oh yeah, we got a Scottish international, done really well for us, but we're going in a different direction now. He's yours for 50 million. He's risking that happen. He's really risking that happen. For me, I was very, very underwhelmed with what he did. I was expecting him to do what the manager wants and go in those positions. But maybe he felt that.
I don't want to sit here and boost him up. I love Tierney, but when you've played for title-winning teams, treble-winning teams, and you're down the wing, whip the ball in, defend, up the wing, whip the ball in, and that's what you've been tasked with since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. And now you're coming in. Oh yeah, you need to go inside. I'm not saying he's not following the signals and the words of the manager, but it's not natural, and it looks not natural on the pitch, doesn't it?
Oh, it looks like natural, but unfortunately, the top sides. If you think about how football's going nowadays, even Man United are going that way. They're trying to convert their left backs. Look what they're doing, Luke Shaw, trying to put him into centre defence, because eventually they're going to want to play like a Zinchenko, or the players who play at Man City. That's the way football's going nowadays, and Kieran's going to be left behind. Performance like that, I can only give him a 5. He did his best. He stood pressure, but there was some, like I said, opportunity for him to create some great opportunities down that left-hand side, and I didn't see much of it today.
Let's go on to the opposite side. Takahiro Tomiyasu, a rare outing at right back, Jez.
Yeah, I just wish. Excuse me. Last season, I thought a lot higher of this fella. His overlapping down that right wing looked a lot better. I don't know. This season, something's dropped off. He did overlap today, but I don't know. It's something's not right there, and he seems to have dropped out of his game a little bit. Wasn't overly impressed, Lee, to be honest. I'll give him a 6. He did try, but it's not great at the moment, is it?
No, I agree. I agree. I think listen, he's an all right player. Yeah, he's an all right player. Defensively, I thought he was all right, but obviously something going forward as well, didn't we? Especially against that team. But let's move into centre back. Rob Holding, Kenny. His hairline's come back.
Yeah. I don't know. He's probably done. God bless his soul. Like Graham Gooch or Shane Warne type of thing. Greg Matthews. Using that
he got that Terry Flewis Football Terrace discount.
I forgot about him, but I don't talk about. I don't consider podcasters as famous people. I rather talk about people who achieve something. Terry, I love you. It's a joke. Don't take it badly. I know you watch this.
Terry's next title. I'm scared of Kenny Ken, because he loves to put scared in the title. Terry's scared of Kenny Ken.
I'm scared of Kenny Ken.
I think we all
are. You haven't met me yet. I'm probably not as big as people say I am. But in terms of Rob Holding, I was going to say that it was his kind of game. He had a good game, but not really. I'll give him a 6. Didn't do anything of any sort. I think his mate had a better game than him, and I think his mate relished. Well, that's Jez's rating as well. But I think his mate actually loved it. I think he had a good time today. His partner in crime at centre half.
Yeah, mate, I agree. Jez, Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yeah, I thought he'd had a great game today. In fairness to him, he wasn't greatly challenged, but I thought he commanded very well. Fair play to the fella. And he seems to have changed a little bit from I think he's given the dozo bug out to somebody else. But fair play to mate. I'll give him a 7.
Maybe he's giving it to Tierney. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's go into midfield. Sambi Lokonga. Kenny?
I worry about him. I worry about him because I just think, you know, maybe he should have gone on loan as well as his friend Tavares, because, you know, he's just struggled. He's struggling. The game just passes him by. You know, could it be that maybe he needs to get regular football, and that he'll come back to us maybe looking like $500,000, because right now he's got no rhythm, no pattern to his play. You know, like I said, he doesn't know whether to attack or like to press or just to hold. He's one of those things where, you know, the problem is he's a victim of the fact that we are having a conveyor belt with games that no one can give him that sort of one-to-one attention to make him a better player, because there's no time for that. Because his performances, we know that, you know, he'll play in the Europa League, but, you know, I say it with great conviction. I don't want to slag him off, but I want people, this is a question for the panel when anyone's watching. Can you remember any good games he's had for us this season? I can't, because I can only give him. If I give him a 5, that's generous. But I'm giving him a 5 generosity, because I can't remember a game where I thought he's played well when he's come to the side.
Mate, I agree. He hides. He hides all the time. Let's go to Fabio Vieira. Did absolutely nada until he crossed the ball in to Mohamed El Neni's head, and then made a lovely pass as well for the second goal. But Jez, what did you make of him, mate?
Yeah, it wasn't great in the first half. I know I get a lot of annoyed people for saying this. He's very small at the moment. He will get better. I think his crossing ability has improved, and I think that pass to El Neni to nut it was quality. And his work rate, you can't fault him. You cannot fault him on that. So I am going to give him an 8.
Let's move on to our first goal scorer. Broke the deadlock. I said on my fan cam, he was my man of the match. El Neni, Kenny, sorry.
You know, like I said, I'll say it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. If you want something to go and build your wall, and, you know, and you give them like bullet point instructions, El Neni's the man. And he's the man for you. You know, maybe we're the wrong ones. Maybe we're thinking, oh, yeah, let's get rid of him. Why is he at the football club? Today showed you why he's at the football club. Last season showed you why it's a football club, for the simple reason is that, you know, there's a lot of steady Eddies in football, and he's probably the best steady Eddie in the league at the moment. And that's why he was your man in the match, although he got trumped. And that's why I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Man with an Eddie. You know, I'll tell you one thing, like, he's always, I hope when he retires from football or when he leaves the football club, he's always made welcome when he comes to the club. I hope that when he comes on the pitch, we cheer him, because I'll tell you one thing, right? He's never offended anyone. He's always given his all when he's played. You know, we know that there's better players than him and good thing. But the fact is, he works his nuts off. And I'll tell you one thing, if anyone deserves a medal, I just hope he gets a medal. I really hope he gets a medal of some sort this season, because he'll deserve it, because he's always come to the party and, you know, deputised without any complaint. I've never heard of him going to thing, oh, I'm not paying. Just gets on with it.
He knows his limitations and where he's at, and I like that. He don't overcomplicate him. Big up to him. Nice bullet header as well. Let's go to Bukayo Saka. Came off apparently with a sprained ankle, Jez. Whilst I'll go and get a bottle of water, I'll let you give your rating and thoughts on him.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka tonight. Bit in and out. Don't think he was on it tonight, personally. I'm not going to make the statement that a lot of people put out, oh, he's tired, this, that, and the other. He's a very young man. He's fully fit. I just don't think he was on his game tonight, personally. I wasn't overly impressed. Got taken out off the ball too often. And I'm going to give him a bang average 6.
Where's Lee and his bottle of water? Come back, Lee.
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Let's go to the opposite side. Gabriel Martinelli.
You know, first off, he looked like the one most likely to sort of open the door because, you know, he did show a turn of the pace. But, you know, credit to his marker. His marker caught up with him. And I think, you know, that's a lot of things with Gab Martinelli. You know, he looked a bit predictable today. And, you know, I thought...
he looked better on the right.
Yeah, on the right, definitely. But I think that's where he's going to have to, you know, kind of manage the game and work out himself, where he's going to have to say to Saka, you know, let's have a bit of a swap. I'm struggling here. Let me see if we can hold Whitney on position, because I think you're looking a bit predictable, you know, today. And I think it was one in his game today, so I'm going to give him a 5. I've got to be honest with my, you know, like my thing. I didn't see anything that impressed me today from Martinelli.
Let's go to Eddie. I'm going to lean on Oxford's flag and call whoever he's called it. I can't lie. I went mad when he did that. Yeah, it was like, you've stunk the place out, missed an open goal. Right? Yeah, he works his nuts off. I expect that, right? And he does work hard. But he missed an open goal in the first half from 4 yards out, and then he has the audacity to lean on their corner flag and call whoever he's called. I know it's his celebration, and people were killing me in the comments, going, "Oh, it's his celebration." Bro, it's Oxford. I get it at Chelsea. Listen, don't let me sway you. It's not my. It's your.
No, mate, I'm on it. Yeah, I mean, come on, that spooning it 15 feet above the bar in the first half. I mean, sorry, come on. If you're a top level striker, you side foot that in the near post where you're at. And I mean, that's an embarrassment, and that's the levels we're talking about.
Well, he found his level, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let me sway you, Jez.
No, mate, nobody sways me on what I think about footballers and Arsenal. And that's the funny thing, isn't it? People think that I'm Lee's greatest supporter. I had it the other day. And well, no, actually, I'm not, because we have a debate. We're adults and we debate and we have a communication. And Kenny and I and you and other people, we talk. And you know, and I'm the oldest person here, so I have the right of being judge, actually. And
it's true, yeah.
And anyway, and I get back to being sensible. Yeah, second half, I thought he improved. Do I think this is the man who's going to win us the league title? No. 2 nice goals. Second one was clearly offside.
The second goal was class. I can't lie, that was quality.
It was class, but it was offside. It was offside. If there'd been VAR, it was offside. So, but I'll give it to him. He got away with it, and it was a lovely little chip and class, man. Well done. He one thing I can say about Eddie Nketiah, his work rate is great. Can't fault him for that. And for the 2 goals he scored, which were all quality, I will give him an 8.
I agree. Who was your man of the match, lads?
My man of the match, I will have to give to Mr. El Nini.
See, my man of the match from a sort of defensive point of view, it was a tie between Gabriel and El Nini for me. Because I thought Gabriel just enjoyed himself. I thought, you know what? I think, you know, start of the season, Saliba looked like $1 million, but I think in terms of like over the long distance, Gabriel's proved to be our best defender overall this season. And that's since...
since I've called him a bozo, the bozo gene, he's kind of stepped up, and he obviously watches the channel to pick up.
I think the Leeds game was kind of a turning point, because after, you know, some people said he had a good game in Leeds, but definitely after the Leeds game, I think that's where he's been playing good football, really good football for the club.
Let's go to the subs. Let's rifle through them real quick. Alexander Zinchenko.
Who? Me?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
He changed the game. I think his presence changed the game. I think I go along with him and Granit. It changed the game because it gave Vieira more space and made him go, you know, in terms of like got him in a more sort of advanced position where he got closer to Eddie, and he was able to influence the game more. So I think Zinchenko, and he passed the ball better than Kieran Tierney, and he made us stronger in midfield. So I'm going to give him a 6. Sorry, Kieran, but it's just how the game went. Nothing personal.
Put your medals on the table. Oh, he probably can as well, can't he?
Sure, he
He
can.
actually probably can as well. Yeah, big up to him. Granit Xhaka, captain fantastic without the armband.
Yeah, Granit Xhaka. You know, my favourite player, always has been. Never understood.
I've always rated him, mate.
Always the arguments against me about him. Yeah, I mean, I just love this guy's mindset. He's totally changed. He's turned around. He came on. He put his shift in. Worked. You know, he worked right. I mean, I don't know what's got into him. Something's changed, but I will give that guy a 6 because I think he actually did some damage and totally messed up their midfield. And fair play to Granit Xhaka.
Emil Smith-Rowe, Kenny, back after a long layoff.
Yeah, there was a time when I thought I wanted to give him a telling off because I thought there was a time when you know, Eddie was in a better position. He went with his left foot and he hardly connected it, and it got a deflection. So in that terms of like team play, I wasn't happy with that. I didn't like that at all. Pass the play in a better position. So, you know, I'm marked down for that. But in terms of like, yeah, it was a good run out for the lad. I'm going to give him a 5. But yeah, you know, when a player's in better position, and not because I wanted Eddie to get a hat trick, it's about the teammate, not about you. You know, going all David Bentley on me. Just pass the ball to a player in a better position next time, mate.
As long as he don't go Spurs and score a 40-yard screamer against a goalkeeper, mate, we'll be all right.
Yeah, well, you know, that's kind of a David Bentley move, isn't it? Not passing to a player in a better position and trying to score a spectacular goal. You know what I mean?
David Bentley, Jesus.
I know, throwback, eh? He looked good at
What
Blackburn.
an absolute pork chop. He thought he was a top player.
Yeah.
He was a top player at Blackburn. It all went Pete Tong after that. Yeah. Oh, before that, sorry. Anyway, let's go on to somebody I feel a little bit sad for. I can't lie. Marquinhos. What does this guy have to do to start a football match against 16th place at Oxford in League One? Yeah, he must sit there and think, Saka's starting again. Like, Jez, what did you make of him when he came on? I know he didn't have long. Like, he had like a couple of minutes, same as Ben White, but like maybe not giving a rating. There's probably not enough time to rate either him or Ben White. But what did you make of that?
I'm not going to rate the fella. It'd be unfair because he just didn't have the time. Yeah, a game at Oxford, to me, was an ideal time to give him 50 minutes. Give him a chance. Look, this is a young man who's out there to prove himself. Rather than play Saka, give him a go. Saka wasn't great. Let's get it right. Yeah, give the guy a chance. You know, you brought the guy in. Let him have a go. This is Oxford United. No disrespect to Oxford United. They came out all guns blazing, which we knew they were going to do. You know, it's the 3rd round, the FA Cup, underdogs. They want to make a giant killing. Fair play, we know that. But give the guy a go. Give the guy a go. Don't have him sitting there week in, week out, and he's frustrated, he's fed up. If you're going to do that, send him out alone. You know, a player we spent £3 million on, we could have had for nothing. And if you want to get into that one, go and watch my earlier rant. But yeah, fair play. I'm not going to rate him, Lee, because it's unfair. I just want to see this guy, give him some game time.
Yeah, that was an ideal opportunity. What about you, Kenny, with him?
Well, yeah, again, it's one of those things where I am frustrated on his behalf, but again, it's one of those things where, you know, I think they're giving the guy a chance, and in terms of Europa League, he scored in his debut, in his first game in Europe, and then afterwards, it's just a case of you know, the manager kind of holding him back, and I think what's happening with him is that in games in Europe when he has started, you know, it's taking him time, and I think what's happening, the manager ain't got time for him. Ain't got time nowadays. He's virtually gone all Pep Guardiola. You know, first 11, you know, my first team, and that's it. Don't get me wrong. And I think that's the thing. This guy's going to be left behind. But like Jez, there wasn't anything significant that he did for us to think, let's give him a point or give him a few points. It's like a rating. But you know, if you want to be, you know, in terms of what the program is offering, maybe give him a 4 or 5. I don't know, but you can't really. You're rating him for putting his shoes, his shorts and his shirt on, and you know, making sure that referee he shakes hands with the player that's coming off. That's all he's done, really.
We're not even going to bother rating Ben White. He was on the pitch for seconds as well, like him. I very quickly Googled David Bentley, retired at 29 after a year without having a football club. He is now the co-owner of La Sala restaurant in Marbella.
Okay.
Yeah, big up to him. He also invested in a restaurant in Woodford Green with Raheem Sterling and Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Woodford Green. Oh.
Yeah, with Raheem Sterling and Oxlade-Chamberlain.
That's all Tottenham area anyway. He was always more Tottenham than Arsenal anyway, David Bentley. Even when he played for us.
Yeah, fact. Mate, like I said, he was only ever good at Blackburn. Like, let's be real. Yeah, he looked a player at Blackburn. But anyway, before we go, you know how this works, people. Don't cry if you don't like the ratings. Just put yours down below. And we are going to rate the manager after a 3, 2, 1 countdown. 3, 2, 1.
7.
6.
Oh.
I've gone 6. Could have gone 7, but the reason why I've gone 6, and it's a positive 6, is because he changed things, and managed to get personnel who could get our most creative player into a position where he can win the match for us. So he deserves a high 6 for that.
My choice of 7 is very similar to Kenny. I think this week he actually showed ambition, as opposed he did against Newcastle. He tried to mix it up and brought on Zinchenko for Tierney, tried to influence the midfield a little bit more, brought on Xhaka. The only thing I will say on this one is that we had to rely on our senior players coming on to win the game against Oxford United. And that is an indictment, Lee, Kenny, of the lack of depth we have on our bench, that we have to do that. I mean, you know, us too. We remember many years ago playing early rounds of the FA Cup when we could actually put out a second string and win comfortably. But now, no. So with an upcoming game against Tottenham Hotspur, we've had to bring players out that we really shouldn't have to bring out. But fair play to Arteta. You did it. You got the result. I love the FA Cup. I was brought up with the FA Cup. I saw loads of people in your chat, Lee, saying, forget the FA Cup. No, never, ever, ever.
Never do that.
Not in my lifetime.
Yeah, I agree. The reason I gave him a 5 is because I feel like Saka and Martinelli shouldn't have started.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason. And then the fact that Saka went off with a sprained ankle, listen, hopefully he's all right. I think he will be all right. Yeah, by Sunday.
Be fun.
But how much is he going to train? Like, you could have played Marquinhos and Smith Rowe. You could have played Smith Rowe for 45 minutes and took him off, or 60 minutes, took him off instead of Martinelli. You could have played Marquinhos, who's hardly kicked a football. Yeah, and let's be real, it's his 16th place League One Oxford. Like, that's the only reason.
Who's referee?
But he had to change it up because we were drawing 0-0. Like, with 63 minutes gone, he had to change it.
I know we don't like going on about referees,
I'm
but you know, I'm hearing Mawson's referee this Sunday in North London Derby, so he's going to let things go. So, you know, no good. I don't want any of these like softies. You know, like these, how do I say it? Lemon heart people. Yeah, just remember that. I'm just warning you guys now. Mawson is going to let things go. He's going to recognise it's a North London derby. You know, get stuck in, but get stuck in intelligently. Don't fall for any cuteness. You know what I mean?
And I will say, Harry Kane is one away from equaling Jimmy Greaves' record.
Yeah,
he's 2 away from breaking it. He's warming up nicely with a couple of goals against Palace.
And where else to do it against us, innit? Another thing as well.
He's going to be up for it, but
yeah. Remember, Spurs got a player sent off in October. Yeah, remember, Spurs got a player sent off in October, so they're going to want to even it out. This, so when I say get stuck in, I mean,
dirty tackles. Antonio Conte is going to have them all over the dirty tricks, mate. Yeah, and we're going to do the podcast, lads, on Thursday. Anyone watching this Thursday, 5 p.m. UK time, which will be a nice little warm up to this North London derby. Hopefully, by then we'll know if Saka's any better. And
he'll be fine, Lee. Come on,
Mudryk. So on that bombshell, we're out of here. Subscribe to Jez. Make sure you check out his video on his channel. Go back and check that out. I'm about to do that in a minute. And make sure you follow Ken.
It's fiery.
Yeah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. We want the best for the football club. You know what I mean?
Facts. On that bombshell, we're out of here, people. Adios, amigo.